Okay, I'm Patty. I'm a volunteer.
I'm Dennis. I'm homeless.
I'm Lisa. I'm a volunteer.
You're our guest.
Yes.
Homeless.
Okay, but you're our
You're a
guest.
homeless guest.
When you mention homelessness to people, they're always like, homeless? Really? We have homeless? When if you just opened your eyes, you could clearly see that there are people out on the street.
If it wasn't for this place, these men and women would be out in the cold tonight. And it's freezing out there. It allows me to put things into perspective and realize that I'm not homeless. You know, how fortunate I am that I have a home and have a nice warm bed, and these people will be out in the cold tonight. And without places like this, men and women would be freezing to death, like the poor woman that froze outside the senior center, which was the origin of this whole place.
We had a lot of good friends passed away in the last few years. Dwayne, hit by a truck. English lady.
Yeah.
She got mental truck.
Hey.
What's his name passed away? Oh my God. Can't think of his name. Who else just passed away?
Bobby.
That's
Benita.
Mm-hmm.
Benita.
Yeah, it's fine. They went Nancy.
Let's keep going.
It's hard to keep counting. I miss her so much.
It's probably about midnight. My husband comes in yelling and he's like, Miss, it was Nancy. It was, and he was like so freaked out because we knew her. We truly knew her. She was a room parent. I was a room parent. She had, a young kid. I had a young kid, and it could be me. It could be anybody. It could truly be anybody.
Before I was even mayor, I took control of a situation that was very unfortunate, and the community was despondent by the loss of our friend Nancy Pitts, and we thought, never again could we ever let this happen. The day after she died, I just happened to have a meeting set up with all the other mayors of the Capital District region. And the first thing I did was go around the table and ask everyone, do you have a Code Blue program? Albany does, Troy does, Amsterdam does, Schenectady does. I said, why is Saratoga Springs the only city without a Code Blue program? So I thought, we are just being irresponsible. We were not doing what other cities were doing. I'm going to work just as hard for the homeless population as I do for the top CEOs of corporations. And I'm very concerned about people that don't necessarily have a voice.
This is not forever. This is a short-term thing. And they try to help you here. They really try to help you. And it's just beautiful, they're warm and uplifting, so to speak,
If people are living on the street and in extreme weather conditions are threatening their lives, they need a place to go, no questions asked. And that was a very important ingredient that we put in right from the beginning. So when guests arrive at the Code Blue shelter, they can sign in their name or just not even give their name. And if they build a relationship with a volunteer or another guest or somebody that's working at the shelter, they might come back. And that's exactly what we saw over and over and over again. The trusts were being built, the relationships were being built.
Well, for 2 years, I have always spoken to him, and I think I got one-word responses, but I never gave up. And now look it, now we have a good friendship.
Yeah.
And we're always out looking for him. If he doesn't show, we get worried.
It's not pretty when we find you, is it?
And I do think
They let me have it.
all volunteers.
And I think that you guys trust us. And I know that if we were ever in a bind and they saw us on the street, that they would come and help us, right? Would you come over and say something? And
Yeah.
you would.
Just like we would you.
Right.
Code blue is a very necessary aspect of any community, and Saratoga especially. And I think that the cities and towns and places need to be cognizant of all of their citizens, whether they're homeless or whether they're the richest people in the town.
Code Blue is extremely important because it's a beginning of what we hope will be a successful continuum. It starts with Code Blue. And then the next level would be to enter a program like the Shelters of Saratoga, where there are some rules and requirements, and that's more of a transition program. But then once they graduate from that, what happens? They need a place to work, they need a place to live, but with continued services. And then eventually be independent, and that's the whole continuum. They're not going to just trust anybody, and they're not going to come in out of their tents or park benches, even if they think it's so cold they might die, if they don't have a connection or a trust. So I took some of the friends of Nancy's, and they know where they live, and they went out to the tents and the benches and brought them in to the first night to Code Blue, saying, you can trust us, and I'm going, come with me. There's a hot meal, there's a hot cup of coffee, and there's a cot with a warm blanket.
Take everything away from you got. Throw you on the street. What are you gonna do? You have to survive. Okay.
Yeah.
So you do what you have to survive.
Yeah.
And then you have Cold Blue. Thank God.